Hello everyone, this is your teacher Sandra. Today we are going to study the first part of Unit 8. You ready? I'm going to start sharing in order to teach you what you're going to learn today. At every beginning of the class, remember I would really like to share what are the most important contents that you are going to practice with me. Okay, the name of Unit 8 is money. We are going to learn in the grammar section relative clauses, too much, too many, enough, very, by, and fence. In the vocabulary part, you will learn about money, multi-word verbs, and shopping. In the reading section, you will learn how to read about a treasure hunt, read a questionnaire about shopping tips, in the listening comprehension part, you will listen to a discussion about salaries, listen to conversation in stories, and watch an extra from the news about Ethiopian business. In the talking or the speaking practice, you will learn about how to talk about projects that people should invest in, talk about why you should earn more cash, describe items, go shopping, and present a money making idea. And in the writing part, you will learn how to write an opinion piece, write a competition entry for a business investment. So let's start. What is the definition of money? Do you know what? How to explain with your own words in English what money is? What money means coins or notes. In parentheses, special pieces of paper that are used to buy things or an amount of this that a person have. What of these pieces of money do you have? Now, as every beginning of the class, I like to share a quote related to the topic. In this part or in this opportunity, I picked this quote. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. It was said by Warren Buffett that every one of you knows is one of the richest men in the world. Now, I'm going to start. The vocabulary, we are going to practice this vocabulary. We are going to read the money questionnaire. What do you think the words involved mean? You will work in pairs and answer the questions. Pronunciation is really important in this part. Pronouncing the letter S. You will need to underline each example of the letter S in the words involved in the questionnaire. How many ways is it pronounced? Listen and check. And then how do you say the letters S? Now listen. How do you earn money? How do you earn and save your money? You want to improve your vocabulary, please look on page 158 and look at the photo back. Now in this part you will listen the vocabulary and we are going to match the photo from A to H. Bank statement, check, bills, ATM, credit cards, coins, bill, and receipt. Now you are going to work and match. In the next part, you are going to listen to an audio related to how do you earn and save the money. Remember, this is not the order that you see, but you are going to underline what word do you listen. Pay attention.
Unit 8. Money. Recording S8.1.
1,
Cash.
2,
Notes.
3,
Coins.
4,
Invested in.
5,
Bills.
6,
Possessions.
7,
Treasure.
Did you listen to the words? So it's important to practice the pronunciation of these words in bold. In the name, in the order, we have cash or credit card, land, borrow, bills, coins or notes, tip, earn, invested in, bills, possessions, worth, treasure. But the most important part in this is that you listen and check words related to money. Now we are going to have a discussion about, do you know any true stories or movies that involve treasure hunting? The man in the photo was very rich and very ill. What is the connection with the treasure chest? Guess and tell your partner, read to find out. As we practiced in the previous class, I noticed that this is a very important reading about how do people may do when they have money. So I encourage you to read this important and amazing story about money, that a person who believed that he was going to die, and then what did he get about that? Next, we are going to practice the grammar session that we are going to have relative clauses. So for this, I'm going to ask you to go to page 142 in order to see this. But I really like to learn and practice with you what a relative clause is. We use relative clause to talk about what a person, place, or things it or does. So we use it in order to avoid repeating the name of a person, the name of a city, or the name of a thing or an animal. Example, this is the machine which we used to make the copies. He's the man who helped us. We also use the relative clause to explain which one we are talking about. Example, she is a girl who has green eyes. That's the town where I was born. We use who when we refer to a person. Example, he's a doctor who looked after your grandmother. We use where when we refer to places or a place. This is the city where she grew up. We use which or that when we refer to a thing or a place or even an animal. Example, Paris is the city which I like to visit the most. Example, when do we use which? We use which when we refer or we talk about things. This is the knife which the killer used. It is possible to use that instead of which or who. Don't worry, if you are talking about a thing, a person, or something, you can also use that instead of using which or who. Example, she's the girl that lives next door. This is the machine that we used to make the copies. When we define something by using a relative clause, we use the and we don't use a or an. Example, it's a car. We use it at the weekend. Example is a car that we used at the weekend. We don't use an indefinite article to when we are using relative clauses. As you know, when we practice the grammar, it's important for you to practice and doing exercises. We have exercise 3. Read the sentences from 1 to 5 and complete the rules below. What are the rules? In the example, we are going to complete. Relative clauses tell you which things, person, or place we are talking about, what thing, person, or place use or does. Use which or that when we are talking about things. We use who or that when we're talking about people, and we use where for places. Now we're going to practice these exercises. Number 1, he included a poem which contained clues. Number 2, there are blocks that describe Fenn's treasure hunt. Number 3, tourism has increased thanks to people who want to find the chest. Number 4, he has received more than 30,000 emails from people that want more clues. And 5, he probably did it in New Mexico where he lives. In the next part, you are going to continue practicing with relative clauses. Read the sentences from 1 to 3 below. Which things in the box do they describe? We have casino, inventor, library, wallet, DVD player, investor, bank, credit card. So we have some words and you are going to follow the examples in order to make your own exercises. Number 1, it's a place where you go to win money. The example is casino. Number 2, wait, what is the answer? It's the thing that you use when you want to pay without cash. And the answer is credit card. Number 3, it's a person who creates new things. And the right answer is inventor. Now, in exercise B, you will use the prompts below to write definitions for the other things in the box above. Number 1, the right answer is it's a place where people look after your money. And the answer is bank. Number 2, it's the thing that you use to carry money and credit card. The answer is wallet. Number 3. So remember, I give you 2 examples and then you can do it by your own to complete exercise 3, 4, and 5. Of course, don't forget the answers. Now we are going to listen to an audio in order to understand what page 173 is showing you. In this part, you have an audio about some people saying about what they should do and pay more. So as you listen, you complete the table. Pay attention.
Unit 8. Recording S8.2.
1,
I work as a nanny, looking after children aged 2, 3, and 5. I'm actually a live-in nanny. I live with the family. I came into the job with my eyes open. I knew it would be hard work because children can be difficult, though, of course, they're fun too. Also, we work long hours, and too many of us do extra work like cleaning and cooking when we should only look after the children. Nannies, particularly live-in nannies, aren't paid enough. Some of us need 2 jobs. We should earn enough just from being a nanny because working with children is a really important job. It's like teaching. It affects the future.
2,
I'm a fireman. It's one of the most dangerous jobs that exists. Really, it's too dangerous to be paid so little. People see us relaxed and calm, and maybe we go and rescue a cat from a tree and people think, oh, they earn too much. Their job is easy. But when there's a serious fire, we have to be ready, even if it's just once a year. We risk our lives to save people, sometimes stupid people who fell asleep with a cigarette in their mouth or forgot to switch off the oven. You know, we save people, we save buildings, we save businesses. Anything and everything can burn down, and that's why we're so important.
3,
I'm a research biologist. I work on finding solutions to some of the world's major problems, such as disease and hunger. The thing is, it's always difficult to get funding, to get enough money to actually do the research. Some of our projects are very expensive. They can cost millions of dollars, and it can take years before you see results. So, actually, I'm not asking for a bigger salary for myself, but I'd like more money for the lab. Too many scientists spend too much time applying for grants to get money rather than actually doing their job in the lab. When things go well for us, the whole world benefits, so I think this work should be better funded.
So guys, as you could hear, there are 3 speakers and they have three different jobs. The first one is a nanny, and you can have a speaker, a job, what are the difficulties they find with their jobs, and why they should earn more money. So each of them have their own strategies and their own problems. So they think what are the difficulties of their jobs and the reasons. The first one, the first speaker is a nanny. What she said about their difficulties about her job, she says that she has extra work and why she should earn more money. And she says because it is an important job. In the second speaker, the job is a fireman. His difficulties, he says that some people, and why he should earn more money because he save people, he save buildings, and he save businesses. And number three is research biologist. His difficulties are hard to get funding, and he says that he should earn more money because better funding. Now they said and they recommend you to listen again and discuss the questions. Which speaker 1, 2, or 3 says she doesn't want a bigger salary for him, herself? What does she or he want? What do you think? In the next part of the exercise, part B, some people are stupid and why? And I think that is fireman. And letter C, he or she does extra work. What type of work? Of course, is a nanny or babysitter that she is complaining about. She has a lot of work or extra work. And number two, who do you think them think makes the best argument for more money? I think in my case, as an English teacher, I think that the nanny has an important job and she's working in education, and it's important because when you teach students and when you teach kids, you are doing and you are giving the future of the planet. Do you agree with me? Next, we're going to practice remember. This is the first part of Unit 8, money, and remember, practice, 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 and practice because practice makes perfect. For your attention, sorry, thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the next class. And remember, the pronunciation is very important in English. Bye bye, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.